Every time I did it, I expected it to be easier. You'd think the adages about practice makes perfect and repetition builds familiarity would have some kernel of truth. We were in the same academic cohort. It was a diverse group of 36 with 22 nationalities from 17 different countries. People from Europe, the USA, Canada, South America, Africa, the Middle East, India, Southeast Asia, New Zealand, and Australia, representing an array of cultural, religious, ideological, ethnic, nationalistic, geographic, and experiential stories, all of which were unique and varied. He was from a long line of influential thinkers in Bosnia and held firm views on most things. As the sole representative of the USA, I had my own set of perceptions that, in retrospect, colored and limited my worldview. I was impressed with his thinking and articulation. I was curious and purposed to interact. Yet each attempt held promise. We never could get past the things that were different about us. One of the subtle strategies of the program we attended was the opportunity for academic and social interactive events. One of these events was at a local restaurant that could handle a party of 36. We were all asked to provide our meal preferences, as reservations were made for the occasion. My usual meal choice was for a special presentation based on health, ideological, and physical history. As we were seated for the meal, to my surprise, we sat next to each other, and as the meal was served, discovered that we both ate the same special diet. We had discovered our common ground and overlapping virtues, and are still connected to this day. The phrase "the overlap of virtue" refers to the common ground between ethical and moral values. It suggests that certain core principles are universally regarded as virtuous, and these principles can serve as a powerful basis for understanding and cooperation between people with different beliefs and backgrounds. For example, kindness, honesty, and respect are virtues that are valued by many cultures and religions worldwide. By focusing on these shared values, we can find ways to work together and build understanding, even in the face of our differences. In essence, the overlap of virtue highlights the potential for finding common ground and working towards a shared vision of a better world. Common ground contains the kernel of truth. That is the idea that even in the most unlikely or unexpected circumstances, some element of truth or common ground can be found. This phrase often describes situations where people with vastly different opinions or beliefs can find some point of agreement or understanding. In these cases, even though they may disagree, they can still come together and recognize that there is some truth to each other's perspectives. By finding this kernel of truth, they can build a foundation of common ground to work towards a greater understanding and cooperation. Finding the kernel of truth in common ground can involve identifying shared beliefs, values, and experiences that can serve as a foundation for understanding and agreement. This may involve actively seeking out areas where different perspectives overlap, and then examining those areas closely to identify underlying truths and principles that are widely accepted. It's important to approach this process with an open mind and a willingness to listen to different perspectives and be aware of any biases or assumptions that may be present. Additionally, actively engaging in dialogue and seeking out common ground with others can help build trust and understanding, ultimately leading to a greater sense of shared truth and a more productive exchange of ideas.